First at noon, the jury has reached a verdict in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, clearing the hip-hop mogul of the most serious charges. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
Family members were greeted with cheers outside the courthouse minutes after Sean Diddy Combs heard the jury's verdict. The hip-hop mogul was found not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. He was found guilty of arranging transportation to engage in prostitution.
The government has to have their tail between their legs. This is just a huge loss for them. They went out on a limb, and the jury, saw it the way the defense saw it.
Prosecutors tried to convince the jury Combs was the leader of a criminal enterprise, one that forced women into abusive sex acts during drug-fueled parties he called freak-offs.
Whether or not the freak-offs cross that line from maybe morally questionable or seriously questionable to illegal, I think that's where things broke down for the prosecution.
The government's star witness was Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Her attorney said she's in a good place.
She was pleased that he's been found guilty and held responsible of 2 federal crimes, something that he's never been held responsible in his entire life.
The verdict is seen as a big win for the defense. Combs' attorney said argued the freak-offs were consensual and accused the prosecution of putting Combs on trial for his lifestyle. Even cleared of the most serious charges, his conviction on the prostitution counts could bring up to a decade behind bars.
This sentencing is really up in the air. He has no prior offenses, which puts him in the lowest category for calculating those guidelines.
As the verdict was read, Combs pumped his fist in the air, then dropped to his knees in prayer and said to his family, "I'll be home soon." Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Here at home, a Japanese tech mogul who owns a Kaka'ako restaurant must pay up for allowing violence in his kitchen. A jury has returned a $3.15 million verdict against Kazutomo Robert Hori because he failed to stop a sous chef at his Pikoi restaurant, Margoto, from being repeatedly abused by executive chef Yohei Yagashita. New pictures from court documents show the bruises left behind from the violence, which also left the 22-year-old victim with a torn rotator cuff and PTSD.
Pretty much a week into his employment, the abuse began. And we're not just talking about slight, abuse. We're talking about a lot of physical punches to the face, to the ribs, to the spine, kicks, to the hips, shins. It was relentless, and it was in full view of customers.
The jury award included punitive damages along with pain and suffering. The abusive executive chef has since been replaced. Now, in a statement released today, Hori's attorney said they are disappointed with the verdict. They claim the victim never raised any issues about the violence, and it would have been immediately addressed if he did so. A 22-year-old man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Kailua. It happened at around 2:10 this morning near the intersection of Oneava and Kaha streets. HPD tells us the man was speeding westbound on Oneava when he drove off the road and hit a traffic pole and a concrete wall. EMS rushed him to the hospital in critical condition, but he later died. We're told he was wearing a helmet at the time. This is the 40th traffic fatality on Oahu this year, compared to 16 at the same time last year. That's an increase of 150%. And HPD is asking for your help to be on the lookout for any signs of animal cruelty. It comes after a man who took care of a group of feral cats found several of them dead. HPD says early evidence suggests the cats may have been poisoned. If you have any information on this, please call 911 or Crime Stoppers at the number on the bottom of your screen. House Republicans have some work to do to win over support for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Some lawmakers say the changes made to the bill in the Senate make it hard for them to support the legislation now. Erica Brown has more from Capitol Hill.
The House is taking up President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, while Republican leaders work to wrangle support for the legislation.
We've had lots of great conversations. I've met with individuals and groups all day long, as has the president, who's fully engaged as well. trying to convince everybody this is the very best product that we can produce.
President Trump met with hardline conservatives and moderate Republicans at the White House Wednesday in an attempt to win them over. Oklahoma Congresswoman Stephanie Bice posted her reaction to the meeting on social media.
I think we're going to get it done, although it's going to take a little bit of time today.
Absolutely. We're headed back to the House now. We'll see how the day progresses, but hopefully we can get this wrapped up by the end of the day.
The House passed its version of the budget bill back in May with only one vote to spare. The Senate changes increase government spending and cuts to Medicaid, creating new hurdles for it to pass the House this time.
There's some that still are holding out for something different, but at the end of the day, they know this is probably as good as we're going to get, and it's a really good bill.
With every Democrat voting to oppose the bill, Republicans can only afford to lose 3 votes if all members are present and voting.
All we need are 4 House Republicans to join us in defense of their constituents, who will suffer mightily from this bill.
Republican leaders want the bill sent to the president's desk by July 4th. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Meanwhile, Governor Green said with the help of last-minute politics, Hawaii dodged a bullet with the Trump budget. Local lawmakers feared major cuts to Medicaid would force them to rewrite the budget and potentially go into a special session. But instead, the new Medicaid rules won't take effect for a year and a half. There's also a special health care fund to support rural providers who have to subsidize Medicaid patients who fall off the program because of new work and eligibility requirements.
We have 406,000 of our people, that's 29% of our state's population, on Medicaid. But now they're going to have to go through a lot of extra hoops to stay in the program, even if they're poor, or even if they are caring for disabled relatives, what have you. It's going to be very difficult.
I have no problem preserving Medicaid for all Hawaii residents who need it. But if you are able-bodied, you're not disabled, and no children under you, it's common sense. And most people here in Hawaii would agree. You need to work, go to school, or volunteer, and the services will still be there.
Governor Green said there is enough money in the state treasury to keep Medicaid and food assistance programs going, but the state's clean energy plan is in greater jeopardy with elimination of the 30% tax credit for rooftop solar and storage systems. The Honolulu Board of Water Supply is suing the U.S. Navy for $1.2 billion for damaging Oahu's water supply. The Navy has acknowledged responsibility for a 2021 accidental fuel release from its Red Hill tanks that contaminated Pearl Harbor's drinking water. However, BWS says the military has refused to pay for the costs it spent responding to the crisis. BWS's Halava shaft and 2 nearby wells are still shut down almost 4 years later. Advocates pleaded for officials to take action at a special meeting this week.
It's going to be hard and it'll be lengthy. Trust us, we've been in it for years now and it's not fun, but it's absolutely necessary and it's right. It's the right thing to do for history's sake.
Investigations of Red Hill have revealed that from the beginning, Navy officials covered up and misled the public about the active jet fuel leak and skirted legal requirements. Their lack of transparency with the BWS and the public throughout this crisis has harmed thousands and put all of us at risk.
The Navy says it does not comment on ongoing litigation. Dealerships are calling for change because a car registration backlog is impacting thousands. We told you about the problem a few months ago when the city saw a mysterious surge in submissions from car dealerships. There were 8,000 outstanding registration packets. Now the Department of Customer Services says it whittled the number down to 6,100. The department is tackling the delays by reassigning employees. Some argue the city should expand its quick turn processing service for dealers.
On the computer at midnight, 11:45, to try to get an appointment for the preceding week, upcoming week. So it's very frustrating.
And we are evaluating that program, but right now it is still in the same format. We've made a significant change and improvement in that in the last month. But what is happening is that the volume continues to increase, and we're struggling to keep up.
Right now, a dealership must wait about 17 days for a registration. The Department of Customer Services aims to reduce it to 10 days by the end of this month.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. Let's start off our forecast with our hour-by-hour forecast. Outside we go, beautiful from our live tower cam. We're seeing somewhat breezy trades, a little bit of clouds in the sky. 86 degrees right now. We're in the warmest part of the day. Going forward, we're going to be seeing temperatures get up to around 87 at 2 p.m. and then dropping down into the mid-70s for lows tonight. As you're waking up, it might feel a little humid. And a quick look at our first alert radar and satellite. We're not seeing much rainfall out there. Mostly sunny over Oahu. As you can zoom in a little bit closer, maybe a few sprinkles along the Ko'olau, but nothing coming down really in populated areas. Maui County relatively quiet. Hawaii Island, you're seeing a little bit of cloud cover and some showers as well. And then moving over to Kauai, it's been relatively dry. We are seeing some cloud cover over on the Garden Isle. Coming up, I'll give you a closer look at this and we'll talk about the breezy winds we're expecting this weekend.
Thanks, Drew. Still to come, Brian Kohberger admits to killing 4 Idaho college students as part of a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. Plus, ahead of the 4th of July holiday, Casey Lund has a preview of the festivities happening at Ala Moana Center. The suspect in the killings of 4 University of Idaho students in 2022 has pleaded guilty. Brian Kohberger was scheduled to go on trial next month. Andres Gutierrez reports from the courthouse in Boise, Idaho.
Did you kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being?
Yes. 30-year-old Brian Kohberger spoke confidently as he pleaded guilty to all the charges he was facing, including 4 counts of murder.
You feel like you are thinking clearly today?
Yes. The crime in November 2022 stunned the quiet community of Moscow, Idaho. 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in their off-campus home. Kohberger was arrested several weeks later in Pennsylvania. Prosecutors say his DNA was found on a knife sheath at the crime scene. The victims were Madison Mogen, Zaina Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonzalez. Some of their family members were in the courtroom. Mogen's father is in favor of the plea deal.
We can actually put this behind us and not have these future dates and future things that we don't want to have to be at, that we shouldn't have to be at, that have to do with this terrible person.
But Gonzalez's family does not agree and blamed the judge who told the court the plea deal did not involve him.
He only negotiated with the murderer of our children. That was the only person that he negotiated with. He didn't give us the common courtesy to negotiate with us.
Kohberger's plea deal takes the death penalty off the table. Some residents of Moscow are relieved the case is ending here.
Pretty confident that he was guilty, so it's just kind of a relief that there's not the uncertainty of any unknowns that can happen at trial.
Others were hoping to hear more about Kohberger's possible motives.
It's such a horrific thing that he did, and the fact that he wouldn't even go to trial is like a slap in the face.
As part of the plea agreement, Kohberger will face life sentences for each of the 4 murder counts without the possibility of parole or appeals. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Boise, Idaho.
In Northern California, a fireworks warehouse blew up before the July 4th holiday. The massive explosion sent a gigantic plume of smoke into the air Tuesday night in a rural area of Yolo County outside of Sacramento. People living nearby say they felt their homes shake. A 1-mile evacuation zone was set up, and firefighters say the cause of the explosion and fire has not been determined. Authorities say 7 people are unaccounted for after the blast.
And stick around, trade winds and are getting stronger this weekend. I'll have a look at the fire danger forecast coming up.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
All right, well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Here's our headlines that we're tracking. We've got trade winds out there. They're going to be getting stronger into the weekend alongside some drier air, so we might see a little bit of fire danger going into this weekend. Right now, confidence is still low in the forecast, but we're giving you that First Alert heads up. Right now, let's take a look at our winds outside. Overall, relatively breezy. We're still seeing a very summer-like pattern out there. Easterly winds in town around 17 miles per hour. Over in Kahului, out of the northeast, around 18 miles per hour. And you can see as we're going forward in our First Alert windcast, we're going to advance in time into Friday afternoon. You can see a little bit stronger out there compared to what we're seeing today. And again, these could get stronger as we're going into the weekend. Overall, we're still relatively humid out there, but we will be seeing a little bit of drier air moving in. Breaking down the overall weather pattern, let's go island by island for your Aloha Thursday. This is over on Kauai. We've got scattered showers and partly sunny conditions. Better chance for windward rainfall out there. Overall rainfall totals are going to be minimal. We're not going to be seeing a lot of rain out there. 88 in town tomorrow, 83 in Kaneohe, 84 in Hawaii Kai, and mostly sunny. East-northeasterlies between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Parts of Maui County sunny, and moving over to Maui proper, we're going to be seeing 88 degrees for a high temperature in Kahului, 87 in Kihei, Kona around 86, some morning sunshine and afternoon showers. Still a little bit hazy out there, especially after the eruption. 84 in Hilo, scattered showers, better chance for rainfall over near Hilo and along the Hamakua coast. Isolated showers and mostly sunny conditions expected on the northern portions of Hawaii Island. Our surf and shoreline forecast, mostly flat on north-facing shores. West-facing shores are dropping after that south swell earlier this week, around 3 to 5 for this afternoon. Still choppy out on east-facing shores. Could get a little bit choppier with these breezy trades that we're seeing this weekend. We've got Hurricane Flossie out in the eastern Pacific. It's a Category 2 storm. It's got wind speeds of 100 miles per hour. Those are sustained winds, very strong winds, but it's going to fall apart going off towards the northwest. Another system the National Hurricane Center is monitoring just to the south of Mexico. It's got a 50% chance of development over the next 7 days, moving off towards the northwest, but it looks like this system could get a little bit further west than the other storms that we've been seeing, but it's likely going to fall apart in the cooler waters of the eastern Pacific. Here's a quick look at our first alert 7-day forecast. Mahalo to Jeff for sending in just that wonderful background photo. Friday is Independence Day. It's going to be really nice out there, a lot of sunshine, and of course breezy trades are expected heading into the weekend.
A center is pulling out all the stops this year for the 4th of July. Casey Lund went to check it out.
Oh man, it's going to be a party here. And I want to get right to, because I've got a special treat for you. So just stand by. I've got something special planned. Before we get to that though, I want to talk to James Bell, General Manager of Ala Moana Center. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for having us this morning. And thank you for the party that you're getting ready to throw on Friday. Tell me a little bit about what's happening here on the 4th of July.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 4th of July celebration every year at Ala Moana Center is one of our favorite times. We have performances at Center Stage here at Evo Stage. We also have it in our Malco Wing over by Target. We'll have DJs there. We'll have musicians on Center Stage, Henry Kapono, Kapena. We'll have Big Every Time, and then followed up with Seven Sons. But most exciting here at our Eva Stage, we'll have some up and coming rising stars performing here.
Yeah, some artists. And speaking of those artists, James, I'm going to let my friend Lovejack do a little talking here. Lovejack, thank you so much for being with us, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your style, where folks can find you. James told me before we went on camera, you kind of become a regular here at Ala Moana Center.
Yes, I like playing here a lot. It's a great time at the mall. My artist name is Lovejack. I play cello, I sing, and I'm a little bit like Ed Sheeran, but cello, or Bridgerton, that Netflix show, is my music style in a way. And we'll be here at the mall from 4th of July, 11 to 5-ish. We'll have several on the rise artists under the Henry Kapono Foundation playing on the Eva Wing stage.
I love that. You know, Henry Kapono comes into Hawaii News Now a lot, and that seems like a great program that he's trying to lift up young artists like yourself. So really grateful to hear that. So, hey, without further ado, you've got my favorite song lined up, don't you?
I do. I think I do.
I'm going to let you take it away, brother.
Here we go.
Thank you so much for being with us today. You can check him out right here at Ala Moana Center. Henry Kapono, the program that he spun up, all these young artists that are here, Seven Sons, Kapena. It's all online. If you want all the details about the lineup and all the other festivities happening right here at Ala Moana Center, go to HawaiiNewsNow.com. We'll send things back to you for now.
Thanks, Case. So to come, a group of musicians is playing in a different kind of venue, animal shelters across the nation. We'll explain in 2 minutes.
All right, time for some good news now. It can be a stressful time for animals living in shelters as they wait for a forever home.
Yeah, but one young musician is looking to help with some soothing tunes for the future pets. Christian Suso reports.
I find it really touching that, that my music is being able to make such a difference for the animals. They honestly don't care who you are, they just care that you're doing something good for them. That's all that matters.
12-year-old Yuvi Agarwal is combining his love for animals with his love for music to help shelter pets across the nation.
My son has been an animal lover all his life. So once when I took him to read to the animals at a local animal shelter in Houston, he was like, "Mama, can I come and play music for them?"
That's how Yuvi, then just 10 years old, started Wild Tunes. The nonprofit brings together volunteers to play music for the animals.
This is generally a high stress environment for them, and music has been clinically shown to reduce that stress, and it also helps them rebuild their bridges with humans, and it helps them get adopted faster.
In 2 short years, Wild Tunes has grown to more than 100 volunteers across 3 states, with the newest addition of Colorado.
It gives me goosebumps. He's really been a trailblazer in that sense. I'd like to be in as many states as possible over the next 5 years.
Yuvi calls it a win-win for the animals, for the staff, and for the musicians. But for him,
honestly, making a difference in the animals is the best part.
Kirsten Susel, CBS News.
And thanks for watching. This is Now. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL. Thank you for watching. Aloha.
Aloha.